Hi, welcome. My name is Marlene. Today I have one very specific goal, and that is to do an acid green eye look with a red lipstick. Now, credit where credit is due, I got inspiration for this look from a viewer of mine that I have on here. Her name is Tanja. She commented on a different video of mine, and she stated like the different kinds of ways that she does her makeup, and one that stood out for me was that a long time ago she used to wear acid green all over the eyes with red lip lacquer. And I was like, oh my gosh, she sounds like such a cool person. And the way that she does her makeup is just so like, kind of like very statement-y. This particular combo feels very kind of like punk rock to me, so I want to try to make it work. This is going to be my third attempt filming this. I was trying to find the different ways of making the opacity of the eyeshadow stand out without stacking on too much eyeshadow on top of eyeshadow, if that makes sense. So I think I'm going to try to do it again just with eye primer. I tried doing it with About Face eye paints. I used this white one here. I will include a video clip here of what that looked like. And I also tried doing it on top of my Sigma eye primer. Both ways seemed like I was packing on too much eyeshadow on top of more eyeshadow, and I think I just have to resign to I'm not going to get the opacity that I want from it, and that's okay. But this is my reference point. I wanted to get this acid green color on my eyelids, and the eyeshadow that I picked out is from the Beaute Bar Strange and Unusual palette. Have yet to play with it up until today, but this is the color we are using. It is called Recently Deceased. I've already made a nice little crater in it. Not that it's like a bad eyeshadow, I just can't get the like bright green to show up. And with my skill level, like I have mentioned before, skill's not really there yet. I'm learning, but this is what it looks like swatched out on its own. Right? It's kind of like hard to get that opacity up there. And then when I did it with my eye primer, I usually just dab it on like that on my eyelids, and then I will take my finger and smooth it out. And when I don't want such an opacity, or when I'm not really trying to get that stark of an opacity, I will use a brush. But when I really want things to be opaque, I'll use my fingers. I think this is where the primer was. See, right there I kind of got the opacity that I wanted, but at first I was just getting eyeshadow on top of eyeshadow, so it didn't look like it was incorporated or like soaked into my eyelids. I just wanted it to not look like this, like the powder's just kind of sitting on top of my skin. This is a learning process for me, and maybe hopefully this will help somebody too on trying to get the opacity we want out of our eyeshadows. And I'm sure there's plenty of other tutorials here that help, which I will watch. But I just did another swatch there of the eye primer. See if we can do this so we can both watch. But tapping it in with a brush, it's kind of hard to get that brightness that I want. And maybe I have to resign to it just looking like that, but I just really want this neon pop. So the other way I tried it was with the About Face white matte eye paint. This is in the color White Noise. And I tried applying it. This dries very quickly, so you have to work with it fairly quickly. But over a light layer. And then just tapping it on top. But it's kind of like the same thing, to where it just kind of sits on top. And it doesn't really like melt in with the skin. So my next thing that I wanted to try, but I'm not going to try this because I already saw it on the back of my hand. I was like, oh, that's going to be a little more difficult. I have this Beauty Cream Clay eyeshadow. I was going to use the white one because this green one is a little not it. I was just going to tap it out like that. And then dab the eyeshadow on top. Actually, would that work? It looks a little wet, but it is the most opaque. But then it looks kind of cakey. Yeah, I'm not gonna try it. I really want to get this down, but if anyone has any tips or can reference me to a video, I know that, like, this is not a makeup tutorial, this is just me having fun and trying to create a look, but if anyone has like a useful video that I can reference or any useful tips on how to get eyeshadows to show as brightly as they are in the pan, I would super love that and appreciate that. Enough rambling, let's get on to actually trying to make this look work, but I'm gonna stick with the good old tried and true method of using my Sigma eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna go a little heavier with it than I usually do. And then we'll try this again. I'm not a quitter. I don't want to quit. And I'm gonna bring a little bit of the eye primer over here just so when I do want to wrap it around and bring it to my inner corner, the eyeshadow, it will have that same base to adhere to, so it'll be just as bright and opaque, hopefully, as the top eyelid. And I can tell I got a lot of green tint on this side just from all of the green eyeshadow I had on my fingers. And then at one point I was kind of like, it's not perfect, but it's okay. And then I tried to clean the inside here. Already starting bad. Do you ever have those days when you're just like, this should be simple? Because I thought this was going to be a simple look, because I was just going to put one color all across the entire eyelid. And then it just ends up not being that simple, or you just have one of those like, I just can't make up kind of days. That's how I'm feeling today. Going back in with my finger. And I try to keep the layers a little lighter than I have been doing. And then I think the point is to not overwork it, because then you get little bald spots like that from areas you had already applied eyeshadow onto, and then just by going over again, you're just going to keep picking up existing eyeshadow. So working it less is best. But this is what I was trying to avoid. I don't know if you can see here, is where the eyeshadow is just sitting on top of other eyeshadow. You know, and part of me was thinking, just give up. It's just not gonna work today. You know, sometimes there are videos where I try to film and things just don't work, or I don't like the footage and I just don't post it. And I was thinking just now, like, just give up, we'll try another time, and it just is what it is. But I kind of wanted to keep going and to post this messy process just to kind of show to you that not every look or every video attempt ends up looking perfect, or how I intended, or the vision. It just sometimes the makeup isn't makeuping. So that maybe when you have these days of when you like see a video or you see a tutorial by somebody and you'll wonder like, how come they can do it so flawlessly and I'm over here struggling and my makeup looks never look like they do in the videos or on posts that you see online. That's kind of why I kind of just want to push through, is just to show you that it's not always like an easy process, an effortless process, a flawless process. It's okay to struggle. Some days the struggles are a little more finicky than others. Sometimes a little mistake can be cleaned up very easily. Just add a little glitter on top, no one will see the patchiness underneath. But I'm trying to keep this look matte. And I'm trying to keep it real here with you guys. So that's why I'm pushing through. And honestly, if this was like an everyday thing and I was trying to do the makeup look and it just wasn't looking good or was looking patchy, I would just throw shimmer all over it and then just walk out the house and be like, that's fine. No one's gonna notice. And I think I'm happy with this application right now. So there's parts that aren't super perfect, but do we really have to make it super perfect? I am a perfectionist, and I'm trying to be more okay with not having everything be perfect, or with things in my life of like, if things can't be a certain way, then I just will just not do them altogether. So that is something that I'm working on. Which kind of brings me back to something else I wanted to try today. There is a girl I'm following on Instagram. I recently started posting a little bit more frequently on Instagram and just being a little bit more forward with my makeup content, because there was a point where I closed a bunch of my other accounts because coworkers kept finding it, and now I'm just kind of like, whatever, if they see it, they see it. If they follow, they follow. And if it's cringy or weird that I'm doing this makeup thing, then it is what it is. Embrace the cringe, right? But there's a girl that I follow on there, and she did a tutorial for a winged eyeliner because people had been asking for a winged eyeliner tutorial, and she sent in the description like, you know, yeah, it's her preferred medium is usually just pictures, like static pictures, and she wanted to try to do a reel, so she's pushing out of her comfort zone. And like, the reel didn't come out exactly how she wanted because she's like kind of out of focus, so she's like over here or out of frame. But the tutorial itself was very, very helpful to me, and I'm glad she posted it, even if though it wasn't perfect. Even though it wasn't like probably the vision she had, or like I said, it wasn't framed properly to where you can see exactly what she's doing. Even though you couldn't see her hands or the eyeliner when she was doing it, a lot of the points and techniques that she was talking about were kind of clicking and making sense to me, because whenever I do my eyeliner, if it looks good, it's just by chance. It's not because of technique or skill. But the way she was describing it, I was like, okay, this is kind of connecting, and that's what we're going to try right now. But that just kind of reminded me of what I was talking about right now, about how being okay with not having things be perfect. I'm glad she posted it, even though she didn't feel like it was perfect or good enough, because it helped me be okay with not being completely perfect or up to standard. Because even though it might not be good in your eyes, it might, you know, not be as bad as you're making it out to seem in your head. Plus, I think that could apply to a lot of things in life, like for me specifically, like waiting for the perfect time to do something. That perfect time might never come around, so instead of waiting around for the perfect time or for the perfect circumstances or situations, I'm also trying to just embrace just doing things in the now, or just when I can, versus waiting for the right moment or the right circumstance. I'm just gonna leave it. I was thinking of setting it like how when you bake and you spray it with like a setting spray so it melts into your skin. I was thinking of doing that, but I think that would be a very bad idea and it would make things look cakey. So I'm gonna leave that. Under here, I couldn't really get the opacity I wanted, so we'll do something different there. You know what I will do is cover it with shimmer. Like I said, I was trying to keep this mostly matte, but I think I'm okay doing a little shimmer in the inner corner. I have this shimmery kind of acid green looking single from Lethal Cosmetics. It's in the color Vertex. This is a build your own palette that I made. I just picked out a bunch of colors that I liked. That is Vertex. I'm gonna put that on the inner corner. No, maybe it's just my skin. I have been working a lot outside, and my skin is very dry and very angry. But yeah, I've been working outside in the sun. I don't like working directly under the sun, but I had to this week. And actually there was a day when I was covering up graffiti with a green spray paint pan, with a green spray paint pan. Green spray paint can. I ended up getting a lot of that green paint blow back on me from the wind blowing, and my face had this really nasty green tint to it. I just didn't like that shimmery green, so I'm gonna take it off. I feel like it kind of dirtied up the look, so I'm gonna clean completely under here on my under eyes. Hopefully this doesn't get messed up. Clean line, yes. Alright, for the red lip, I am using a Black Moon Cosmetics lip liner in the color Scarlet. That is what that looks like. I gotta say, after doing my foundation and putting on a little blush and doing my eyebrows, I feel a little better about this look. And I feel like the eyeshadow has kind of settled in. And then for my red lipstick, I'm going to use my hands down ever favoriteest red lipstick. Is this Westman Atelier lipstick in the color Mabiche. I have swatched this several times on here, or a few times, but that is my perfect red lip. That is a very cool combo, isn't it? The bright green with the red lip. Now I'm contemplating adding this Blend Bunny lip oil in the color F-Bomb. I think I'm gonna go for it. Put this on my finger and then apply it on top of it. Yeah, that makes it look more like a lip lacquer. That is a gorgeous combo. Now I picked the Scarlet color just to give it a little bit of darkness on the outside. And then this Blend Bunny color, oh my gosh. Love it. Now I know I wanted to keep this an all matte look, but I just can't help myself and I really want to add some glitter. I got this little space case, as they call it, from Lemonhead.LA. It has 16 of their different glitters. This whole bottom row is UV activated glowy glitter. They have 3 different types of these glitters, these wet glitters. The UV activated ones are called Glow Jam Sheer. That's those guys right here. And then they have Space Paste, which is more of a uniform glitter, which is these 2 rows up here. Those are the Space Paste. And then the third formula of their wet glitters is called Space Jam, which has different size chunks of glitter. They'll have like little bigger hexagon ones and like little tiny glitters, which is this middle row here. To complete this look, I want to add this green one down here. It's called Palms, just to show you what the inside of this palette looks like. I think this is like a good introduction to the Lemonhead.LA glitters. You get a nice little variety. I did read the instructions on the website and it says to take a little bit out and then put it on the back of your hand. Just kind of spread it out and apply directly with your finger. So let's hope I don't mess this up. But I really want to put some in here. I did see on their website that they do have a spray That spray is for like if you want to put the glitter on top of an eyeshadow, like I have on right now. That would be kind of like a barrier between the glitter and the eyeshadow so that the glitter lasts a little longer. I don't have that, so I'm hoping I don't ruin this or make it so that the glitter doesn't last too long or adhere too well. So far it's adhering okay. I'm just gonna go for it. I want to be a little bit more precise, so I'm gonna take a brush and just paint it on. It does stay on fairly well. I am gonna put a little bit on my cheek, so I'm gonna do the same thing, put it on the back of my hand, and then just tap where I want it. These smell super good, by the way. Really nice scent, and then when you do use it the way that they describe to smush it on the back of your hand and then apply it, it does adhere very well. Even on top of my face makeup, but I think the spray might really help. So I would love to try that next. But they did include this little black light. It's supposed to like activate the UV color on it. Oh, that is so fun. Try not to blind myself here. So much fun. I know, I said I was gonna keep it matte and then we added the glitter and now I want to add more glitter because also from Lemonhead.LA I got the Prisms glitters, which is the loose glitters, and it's these beautiful, beautiful black stars that just have this like rainbow iridescence. Just take that in. Yum. And then they have this Lemonade, which is a mixing medium. It's like a clear mixing medium. I'm going to add a little bit of this to hold the stars in place. Okay, so these I didn't really look up to see how to use them, but I put a little bit of that mixing medium on my finger and then just kind of soaked the stars in it, and I'm using the back of a brush to pick them up and place them where I want them. Like that. Just started using the little tip because it's a lot easier to grab them and a lot easier to be a little bit more precise about where I want the stars to be. And they adhere very well. You have quite a bit of time to move them around, but once they're there, they're secured. This is the finished look. I am really happy with how it turned out. This color combination is insane. This lip is actually one of my favorite lips that I've done in a really long time. The lip pencil, the lipstick, and the lip oil. I think it all went well together and I can't wait to wear this again. But yeah, thank you again, Tanja, for the recommendation. This combination is insane. I love it. I love it. I had so much fun. I hope to find a more workable neon green color because this one I did struggle with quite a bit. And these Lemonhead glitters, I can't wait to play with them again. It's just so much fun. The mixing medium and everything. I have more of their stuff to play with, hopefully soon. Because, oh my goodness. I hope to see you again in another video and I hope you take care.